The third video in my new series on the Finnish historical events concerns the Club War or Cudgel War, that was a Finnish peasant revolt against the aristocrats and soldiers who forced them to lodge themselves and to give them food and drink because the peace between Sweden and Russia was still uncertain. It began in late November, or according to the modern chronology, early December 1596, and lasted until February or March 1597. There were between 1,000 and possibly over 4,000 peasants who armed themselves with various blunt weapons such as cudgels, flails, and maces, as they were seen as the most efficient weapons against the heavily armored soldiers and aristocrats. The yeomen or peasants also had swords, some firearms, and 2 cannons. Their opponents, led by Claes or Klaus Fleming, were professional heavily armed and armored men-at-arms, and there were between 1,500 and over 3,300 soldiers on the aristocrats' side. Although the Treaty of Täyssinä or Teussinä in 1595 had officially ended the 25-year-long war between Sweden and Russia, the new borders had not been yet formally inspected, and therefore Klaus Fleming decreed that this so-called castle camp, where the Finnish peasants had to lodge and give food and drink to the soldiers, should continue until the peace between Sweden and Russia would be certain. The number of casualties on the peasant side has been variously estimated at between 1,200 and 3,000 people. And this painting was painted by a famous Finnish painter, Albert Edelfelt, in 1879. It's called The Burned Village, or A Burned Village. It shows a woman or a teenage girl, a child, and an old man hiding behind a rock as a village burns in the background, although this painting could also pass as a painting for some other wars in the Finnish history, such as the Greater Wrath, a period of brutal Russian occupation of Finland between 1713 and 1721. The Cudgel Wars or Club Wars peasant leaders were executed, such as a wealthy southern Ostrobothnian farmer and former bailiff Jaakko Ilkka.